Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. In this video we're going to be talking about the message that just came out from the First Presidency. This time addressing wearing masks in the temple, but also talking about the vaccine. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you end up liking it, hit the notification bell, and then please leave your comments so I can know what your opinion is, if you have any additional information, and so forth. So this just came out today. The First Presidency asked Latter-day Saints worldwide to wear face masks in temples. And I'm just going to read the letter to you in case you haven't had a chance to look at this yet. On September 22nd, 2021, the First Presidency of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints sent this letter to church leaders around the world. Okay. Dear brothers and sisters, we're grateful that in recent months, some level of ordinance work has resumed in every temple. Our desire is to keep temples open. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there because I think they're kind of coming out and letting us know exactly why they're recommending for us to get the vaccine, wear masks, and basically this is the real reason. Okay, for those of you that are struggling with why they would encourage us to do this, and I have, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I've been against this entire thing. I think that this whole thing has been planned. It's not really so much just an accident, and they just happened to, practice this exact scenario a few months before it actually broke out, led by Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, and it doesn't add up to me. But my channel is not so much about that. This is mostly a second coming channel, watching for the signs of the times, watching church news as it comes out, and this is church news. And it looks like their primary focus, in case anyone had any doubt, is to make sure that the temple remains open. Now, I find that interesting because if you've seen some of my other videos, I've talked about the Liahona articles that have been coming out lately, specifically August, September, and October, which heavily have the theme of getting ready for the second coming. Okay, so in August, it says it right there, preparing to meet the Lord, and it has a really great painting on the front, which I hadn't seen until this came out. I actually really like it. We know that when the Lord comes back, he's going to be dressed in red, so that's a little bit more true than like the traditional second coming picture that's been around forever. But anyway, that's not the point. So in this Liahona, the focus was getting ready to, for the second coming. And then specifically how priesthood prepares us, physical and spiritual preparation. If we hop over to this August issue, let me zoom back out here. The big thing here that they're talking about, this is the main article by Dallin H. Oaks. The main thing in getting ready for the second coming is authority, ordinances, and preparation. So talking about all the saving ordinances of the gospel, a lot of which are performed in the temple itself. So getting ready for the second coming, temple work and receiving our ordinances and being in the temple is a really big part of that. If we go over to the September issue, this one is also it's talking about getting ready for the second coming, but with respect to building Zion, right? Because we know that Zion is a big part of the second coming, becoming one in Christ, to build Zion, overcoming prejudice, having harmony. So let's go over to September. In this one, the main article by Elder Garrett W. Gong is Bring Forth Zion. I did a video about this. There's a lot of interesting things in this, but so that was kind of like the main issue here. Teaching about keeping covenants and building Zion. So that's, we make covenants in the temple, knowing the tactics of our enemy, covenants, ordinances, blessings by Randy D. Funk. So again, more articles about going to the temple and what blessings do the pure in heart receive. Here's a picture of I believe that's the Kirtland Temple back there in that picture. It's kind of small. So again, they're carrying over the theme from August, about how the temple is important in regards to the second coming. All right, and then in October, all right, in His holy name, the main thing here has to do with using the correct name of the church, because we're trying to get even more Christ focused and preparing, and we're trying to prepare for the second coming by bringing the focus squarely on Christ. Not that it wasn't before, but like as far as like the outward optics and just, it's like house cleaning. That's the way that I view it. We've reached a hinge point, right? President Nelson has said that we've reached a hinge point. I believe, this is my belief, that the time of the Gentiles is basically over, and now we're moving on to the second coming phase, right? So the name of the church, and then what do you know? Temple work blesses all. And then if we go over to this one, the main article is talking about, it's by Henry B. Eyring, President Henry B. Eyring, "Thus shall my church be called." And I did a video about this, and he talks about using the correct name of the church. But if you look at the rest of this issue, blessings of temple and family history work, temple work, what temples mean to me, introducing the temple to our friends, temple work blesses all, living and dead. And then they do a thing about the Kirtland Temple. I did a video about this. There's some interesting things here. I specifically did it here on this article, the Kirtland Temple, a place of holiness, where Jeremy R. Jaggai, sounds like Jedi, he's no Jaggai, he uses the term hinge point in this article, and I found that really interesting. Temples, the name of the church, and including others, angels in the temple. Okay, so you get the point. So temple, temple, temple for the last three, and of course, like every Liahona and ensign is probably going to kind of hit on that, because the temples are a big thing in our church. So it's incredibly important. But I feel like it's really, really ramped up these last 3 months in terms of these articles that they're putting in the Liahona. Okay, so let's go back here. So keep that in mind as we read the rest of this letter. As cases of COVID increase in many areas, we want to do everything possible to allow temples to remain open. So they're repeating it again. Therefore, effective immediately, all temple patrons and workers are asked to wear face masks at all times while in the temple. These safety protocols are temporary, based on COVID-19 conditions, and will be rescinded as soon as circumstances permit. So I don't think it's like they want to do this, of course, like they want to get back to normal as soon as possible. But the important thing is that the temple remains open. Why? Because it's important for preparing for the second coming. Are urging church members to be vaccinated and to protect themselves and others from the spread of disease has precedent. So that means that it's happened before. Prior First Presidency shared similar messages in 1900 about smallpox and in 1957 regarding polio. Please do all you can to protect yourself and others so the work of the Lord on both sides of the veil can move forward. Again, talking about temples, because there isn't any work done for those on the other side of the veil except for in the temple, right? And an interesting thing about that, okay, we know that part of the second coming is those who are alive on the earth that are righteous will be translated, and then those who are dead will be resurrected in the morning of the first resurrection. But I don't think that people are going to be resurrected until they have their work done in the temple. And unfortunately, there's probably going to be a lot of people that are going to have to wait for that work to be done in the millennium. We need to do as much as possible so that these people don't have to wait to be resurrected. I could be wrong about that. Let me know what you think, but I do think that their work has to be done, because if they're resurrected, then they can just do the work themselves. And I don't think that's how it works. I think if they have the chance here in this life, well, or they don't have the chance if they lived during a time when the church wasn't here. So in this portion of mortality, someone that's alive in mortality has to do the work. They have to accept it, and then after that's done, then they can move on to being resurrected. That's my understanding. And then, of course, sincerely yours, Russell M. Nelson, Dallin H. Oaks, Henry B. Eyring, the First Presidency. Now, over here at thechurchnews.com, they go into a little bit more information, which you might find interesting. I'm just going to read it here. Regarding previous First Presidency statements regarding disease and vaccinations, President Lorenzo Snow, then President of the Church, and President George Q. Cannon, his first counselor in the First Presidency, shared a message published November 17, 1900 in the Deseret Evening News regarding the day's smallpox epidemic. We take this opportunity to suggest to the saints that they employ every precaution to prevent the spread of the contagion, they wrote. Later they added, now listen to this, to the question of vaccination, we have given careful thought and consideration. We are aware that there is a difference of opinion in the community as to the merits of this question, and we have felt reluctant to express ourselves publicly on it. Now, however, we feel to suggest and recommend that the people generally avail themselves to the opportunity to become vaccinated. Okay, so I don't know what it was like living in the 1900s, but I guess there were people concerned about it back then, and there's probably even more now than there was back then. And again, I am one of those. I still am very suspicious about what's actually happening and the purpose of this and how it was all rushed out, and they're trying so hard to get everybody to do. Everyone needs to get vaccinated against this deadly virus that's just killing the entire planet. It's very, come on, you guys. It's like, I feel like if you have common sense, you can see that, we haven't responded like this to other things that have broken out. It's like the world is just losing their mind, as though this is like a zombie apocalypse or something like that. And it's not. I don't feel like I need to get it. By the way, I did get it yesterday. I got my second shot. It was the Moderna, and today I'm not feeling too great, but it's mostly just kind of like I'm feeling sore, and I'm a little bit on the tired side, and my shoulder hurts. But anyway, so yeah, I did that yesterday, me and my wife, and because we're following the counsel of the prophet. And do I think it's necessary? No. Do I think that it's necessary to wear masks? No. Do I think any of this is necessary? People, their livelihoods being destroyed, and it's just no, I don't. But you know what? I've been doing a lot of research on this channel, and the prophets are able to see forward. They know the will of the Lord, and they're concerned with the church. And they just said in this letter, it seems like the main concern is making sure that temple work is able to go forward. That's the main focus. And maybe they know that if this shot is bad, if it's going to do something to our bodies, if this has to do with schemes of the Gadianton robbers of our days, maybe they know that it's not going to matter, because like I've said before, maybe we're going to get translated before then. Maybe the second coming is a lot sooner than we think, and it doesn't really matter if you do or not, but they're wanting everybody to do it so that we can continue with temple work. Take that for what you will, but that's my take on it. I prayed about it, and we definitely received answers, and so we did it. Going against my better judgment, I feel like I received an answer after praying about it. I feel like the prophet's not going to mislead us. I know it's not a spiritual matter. It's not going to affect your salvation. But as to the temporal affairs and spiritual affairs of the church, maybe we should follow the counsel. But you do whatever you want. But hopefully that helps if you're still on the fence about it, or you're still thinking about it. Let's continue. 6 decades later, with the world struggling with the disease of polio, the First Presidency endorsed the fund drive of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis. In the same statement published January 30th, 1957 in the Deseret News, President David O. McKay and his counselors, President Stephen L. Richards and President J. Reuben Clark, urged Latter-day Saints to be vaccinated against polio. Quote, "We are grateful that there is assurance and hope in the prospect of universal protective vaccination. We commend all our citizens, particularly the women, who are giving so generously of their time and effort in the support of the campaign. And then we're going to end on this here. Quote, we have no hesitancy in urging all members of the church and other citizens to support the campaign now in progress by giving as generously as each can afford, and by making sure that all members of families, unless exempted on doctor's orders, receive Salk vaccine inoculation. All right, so they've done it before. I think these other two times are different than what's going on now. I think that most likely these were genuine outbreaks rather than something that was planned. It's suspicious that, we just had another outbreak and we need to take advantage of this opportunity and do a great reset, and there's going to be a new normal and we're going to have to control where you're able to go. If you don't get vaccinated, you can't travel. And come on, you guys. It's such a dumb situation. But so there you have it. So they've encouraged people to do it before. They've told us today, I think, hopefully to let those of us know that are against it why they want us to do it. And it has to do with the temple. So I would encourage you, pray about it, fast about it if you need to. Maybe it's not for everybody. I don't know. But that's where you have to do, the personal work and find out for yourself. I've done that in my case for me and my family. We're doing it. And I just hope and pray that I'm right, that the second coming is just around the corner and that we're going to be translated or, caught up or quickened or raptured, whatever term you want to use. So, again, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video if you liked it, hit the notification bell, and leave your comments with what you think about this. Leave sources for your information if possible. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I'll talk to you later.